You know you're going to have a good day when you look around my boat. The cameraman got in here and says, I got one rod and reel and one lure tied on it. He says, where's the rest of the rods? Got him. I said, there ain't any. No need for just one rod. Here, I'll get her up. She's coming up. Whoa. It's a nice one here, but a little bit better than the other ones. Man, there's a school and a half lit up in the corner of this saddle. I mean, these fish are really piled in there. I mean, just jammed in there and eating and eating and eating. It's a bite like this that I wish I was fishing a BASS tournament or an MLF tournament where you're weighing in. So many fish like this. This would be one of them dream bites. But I'd rather have the dream bite. Got him. Oh yeah. This feels right. This feels so right. Oh, it feels so right. I'd say this is, for the first fish of the day, it's the right one. Oh yeah, good fish. Good bass. Nice one. Nice one. Not the monsters that we're going to see, but it's definitely a starter. You are definitely putting us on the board with a decent one. Not a big one, but a decent one. Huh? Oh. Okay. You know, I really truly believe that there's more diversity in presentation, more different ways to catch a largemouth bass than any fish that swims, and that includes saltwater fish. Think about that for a minute. Got him. Got him. Feels good. Yeah. Big fish spot. Big fish spot. You one of them big mamas. We're due for a big mama and she feels like it. Nice one, that's for sure. Nice one. Boy, she's got her home and everything. She got a mouthful. I get it. Where are you? All right. Wow, that's a good one. A gooder one, like my brother used to call them, the gooder ones. You know, I'm fortunate enough to live in a part of the world that's got lakes all around me. You know, there's hundreds of lakes within an hour's driving distance of my house. And you want to know something? Every single one of them have largemouth bass in them. In fact, I don't think there's a lake in the state of Minnesota, if it hasn't froze out, that doesn't have largemouth bass in it. And like I was saying earlier, there's so many delivery systems that we use, and because so many of the lakes that we fish are so diverse. We're fishing, sometimes we're fishing in pits and ponds and reservoirs. Little bodies of water, deep bodies of water, dirty water, stained water, rock cranking. We've got what we call cranking lakes, and I'll explain what we look for when we're cranking. And at times of the year, cranking can be phenomenal of the many different delivery systems. And I think all over the season, you know, you look at a bait like a crankbait, a cast and crank, you know, they're one of the more productive delivery systems, especially for big bass, north, south, east, and west. Nothing more fun than coming around this hump, ring around the hump, and catch 2 or 3, one pass, then you make another pass and you catch 2 or 3 more. You know you're on a good spot. Boy, I think this is kind of it's not the same as those others. Nice guy. Nice chunko. Nice chunko.
Little beauty, little fat football.
Wow.
Holy smokes.
Woo! Never let me down when I need a monster.
That thing is so
I
fat.
think I'm gonna need a still shot for social media with that. Give me a still shot. They're in there, you hook them, walk in the rocks, then you gotta pull them through the weeds. Big school of them lit up here. This lake that I'm on here, it's a lot like that. High population of largemouth bass and smallmouth bass. And just a great fishery. You know, you gotta release, the lake is slotted. You know, like, I'd like to see more lakes all over the country to kind of manage it so you can catch some more numbers and size of fish. It's a good philosophy. More states are doing it. Big, big fish, big fish. Big, big mama, big, big fish. If she's a bass, she's a 5 or 6er, the way she feels. Now, oh, but a pretty good one. I thought she was bigger than that, but I'll take her. I'll take her. Man, I thought that fish was bigger. It's because I had to tear her out of the weeds. I don't even have to lip her. I can just tear her, lift her in here, weeds and all. Oh man. You know, I'm on a pretty good piece of structure now. It's a big saddle area, and it's just covered with rocks. Rocks up on top, and it's surrounded by deep weeds. Basically, the lake that I'm fishing today is a magnet for largemouth bass in rocks. There's a lot of big boulders and rocks on the inside of weed lines, big massive flats that are like 7, 8, 9 feet deep with weeds all over them. And you get near shore, and the weeds end, they meet the rocks, and there's boulders that go up, and we're cranking the inside edge and humps out like this big saddle here. This is a good shallow water crankbait lake. Ironically, about 10 days ago or so, I was fishing with Jake Wallace, a guy we work with, and we were doing some crankage, just with the OG fat like this, the OG Fat 6, and we were on a clear water lake. Completely different environment than this. And we were catching fish, cranking on the outer edges of the weeds, where you took the roll and it broke down to 12 feet of water. It came from 8 to 12, and we were cranking that roll there and catching fish. A different environment, different patterns. One lake, they were eating bluegills. This lake here, they're heavy on crawfish. Oh, got him again. It's amazing. We fished for about 2.5 hours and caught 2 dinks. And I said, I know this lake, I know what's gonna happen. We let it warm up, that shallow water warms up, those bass come in from those deep flats, you know, and they say it's chow time. Yeah, you know, and I mean, we got it like 82 degrees, you know, water's pushing in the upper 70s. Their metabolism, oh, that one was just big enough to, well, hang on there, baby. Just big enough to lift, barely big enough to lift, but I lifted them anyway. Yeah. Crankbaits away. It's power fishing. You know, you're just covering water, and when that bite turns on, you get the angle to the dangle. That's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Warm, 80-something degree days, summer here, cranking up bass after bass after bass on the rocks. How sweet it is. The whole Rapala OG series of baits was Art Defoe's inspiration. Now, he's one of the biggest names in the bass fishing world. Let's ask him why he particularly designed this bait.
Hey Al, man, that is really cool, catching those largemouth along those rock and weed transitions. You know, that's something that honestly is a little different than where I typically find myself fishing a square bill, you know, like that big Rocco. For me, a lot of that has to do with fishing it around rock. Rock is definitely a place where I use it, but so often for us, it's all about fishing it around wood, you know, whether that's stumps, that's laydowns, some type of wood cover, even bouncing along the side of some dock pilings or something like that. So to see you catching those fish along, you know, grass and rock transitions, it's a little bit different take than where I usually am fishing a square bill. but obviously it's working on those big northern largemouths. So pretty awesome. But the thing with Rocco, especially big Rocco, you know, it being a bigger profile bait, man, this thing casts so very well. You know, not the regular Rocco doesn't, but that big Rocco, even on those windy days, you're able to make precise cast into the wind, you know, in a way that you couldn't before. And with that little bit heavier bait, you're able to get that, you know, even on a short cast, a little bit bigger size, you're able to get this bait down to depth really quick. So that's a nice thing with it too. You know, a great circuit board bill, something that I love about all those OG baits. We put those circuit board bills in them. It's real thin, it really cuts through the water well. And I truly think that that circuit board makes a little bit different sound when you are bouncing it off of those rocks or off of that wood. That little bit different sound, I think sometimes can trigger some extra strikes. So another fantastic bait, something I'm really proud of in that OG lineup. And I think you found a pretty neat way to catch them on it also. Awesome.
Yeah, it's a little bit better fish. Now I'm getting into some good ones. When these rockfish light up, oh, nice one, nice one. Yeah, it's a little bit better fish. Now I'm getting into some good ones. When these rockfish light up, boy, do they light up. Oh, I lost that one. It's early July, and for the last week and a half, I've been doing a lot of bass fishing, and a lot of it has been cranking. This is the time of the year on a lot of the lakes that we fish that crankbait can really, really light up the fish. And my friend Jake Wallace, the guy we work with, he and I were out on a lake completely different than this environment, clear water, deep weed lake, and we were cranking over the weeds and catching fish. So yeah, you know, this bait is so adaptable to so many conditions, and I like the wobble, and I'm telling you, the fat. It's a big, bulky bait, and you feel that. Boy, do you feel that rod tip, and it's going boop, 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 boop. You can reel it real slow, and one of the most important things about this OG Rocco Fat 6 is it's so buoyant. You can't beat balsa. And Rapala is known worldwide for the quality of their baits when it comes to balsa. You know, they buy the best quality balsa you can get to put in their lures, and that's the truth. And balsa is so buoyant, it makes a bait do things that are like magic underwater. Oh, big fish. Big, they are on fire, man. They are in here, they're saying it's chow time. Oh yeah. Chow time, chow time. Chow time, chow time. Man, that fish that bait hit the end of the rocks. I did one crank and he was on it. That's the way I like it. That's the way it should be all the time. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Come on, come on. OG Fatso. Man, I get new favorite lures all the time. This is my favorite one, new favorite one for dark stained water, shallow water rock fishing, cranking up largemouth like this. You know, we're so fortunate to have the equipment that we have available to us today. I mean, it is so good at a lot of different price points. You know, we're fortunate we work with Rapala, who owns a number of the best brands in the fishing industry. People like Daiwa, people like St. Croix, Humminbird, Minn Kota, Lund, Mercury, you know, longtime sponsors, Big Bite Baits. You know, they help us do our job. But the equipment that we have to deliver the lures is incredible. I want to show you this little baby here. This is St. Croix's Mojo Bass Glass Rod, and it is sweet. It's a 7.2 heavy power, moderate action. It's a dream fishing crankbaits like this with this. This is the Daiwa Tatula SV 6.3 gear ratio, and I got it spooled up with 14-pound test Suffix fluorocarbon. Deadly combination for cranking. Oh, another, oh, big fish. Oh, man. They lit up like a Christmas tree. You know, I was talking about how blessed it is to have the equipment that we have available to us today. And I'd be amiss if I didn't say anything about Hummingbird's Lake Master chip. This thing is an incredibly important tool. Ask anybody that fishes anywhere for any kind of fish, this chip is priceless. You know, we're fishing pretty shallow water. A lot of these fish are coming out of the shallow 2 to 5 feet of water. And this new Quest trolling motor, it's brushless. It is, you don't even know you're moving. Sometimes I gotta look. Oh, I got it on auto. You don't even know you're going along. It is so silent. It is truly the best trolling motor, and I've been with Minn Kota a lifetime, that I've ever put on my boats. It is an amazing motor. There's so few places like this to duplicate a pattern. It's almost impossible on this lake, a piece like this. And these fish are way up in these shallow back, way up, and good one, good one. They're coming again this afternoon. I keep talking, this is a big one, big one. Ooh, nice one, nice one, nice one. Afternoon, they lit up, them craws come out, they wanted to play on top of the rocks. And the bass said, it's party time, boys. Party time, party time. And I got weeds all over this one too. Oh man, come here, come here. Oh, look. This fish hook, really weird. Look at this corner of the mouth and hook back in here. Okay, I'm almost gonna have this out. There, I got it out of her. Oh man, you know, of all of the delivery systems that we have available to us in the world of bass, I think hard bait cranking is one of the most enjoyable. You know, you're sitting, you're doing something all the time. Yeah, you know, it's not like sitting on the front of the boat watching a forward-facing sonar flashing around looking for a suspended fish. You know, the water that I'm fishing, you don't need forward-facing sonar. Right now, it's useless in water like I'm fishing here. You know, I'm fishing old school shallow water, cranking rocks, and I'm loving every minute of it. You know, again, if you're a hardcore crankbait fisherman or somebody really getting into crankbait fishing, you need this bait in your tackle box. I'm not, oh, well, that's a big hype sell. Yeah, it is. You know why? You put this on a lot of the lakes that you're fishing, and you're gonna catch more fish. I promise you. Is it a sell? Yeah, but I want to help you catch more fish, and this baby will do it. You know, Google doesn't know everything, believe it or not. I just tried to punch up how many times is the word faith mentioned in the Bible, and it's going all over the place. I'm not getting a simple answer. And the reason I asked that, there was something I wanted to talk about. Also, this is a book I just read recently. Faith Still Moves Mountains. When I read that title, it really got my attention, because simply the whole Bible is built around faith, your faith, faith-filled prayer. Faith-filled prayer is what moves God. It's not circumstances of life, things like that. It is not. Yeah, he's touched by those things, but he is moved in a big way by our individual faith. And the Word of God says faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Pretty clear. And that's what faith is all about. That's what the Christian faith is based strictly on our faith, our own personal faith. And when we talk to God, do we believe what we're saying? Do we believe he's going to answer it? And there are so many powerful scriptures that talk about faith and mountain moving faith. You know, and it gave example after example of people in the Bible and how their faith changed the world at that point in time that they lived in, the world we live in today. And people say, how can I get to God? How can I talk to him more? Man, you just exercise your faith. Your faith. Talk to him from your heart. Come to him from your heart, And believe what you're saying. Believe that he hears it, because he does. When you're talking to him with faith-filled words, you have an audience. God, the creator of the heavens and the earth, is sitting there with an ear like this. He wants to hear what you have to say. And he will respond in many ways, many ways. You'll feel that little gentle tug that comes into the heart when you seek him. And he's always there. He's there 24/7. Even for those of you that never prayed, you never asked him for anything. Today's your day. You want to see if he's alive? Is he real? Does he care about you? Take a step of faith. Talk to him with a faith-filled prayer from your heart. You can pour it out to him. He's there. He knows what you're saying. It isn't the words that count. You know what counts? This. It's your heart. It's not the words, it's your heart. Do you believe what you say when you say it? And that's when Father God says, I got you. I got it. If it's in line with my word, my son, my daughter, I will bless you with it. It says, taste and see that I am good. That's God's own words, and it's true. Hey, from all of us here at The Edge, have a great fishing season. See you on the water.
Closed captioning is provided by Smooth Moves, adjustable boat seat suspensions for a smoother ride. This segment is brought to you by Big Bite Baits, designed to bring the big bite to your line.
This boat is rigged up about as nice.
Easy to use, and it flat out works.
It's a must-have when you're talking about big waves. Well, these trout are so darn tough.
Incredible 11-year warranty.
So that was on a number 8 Shad Rap.
Your style of boat control is really key.
One that was there from the very beginning.
You want to be able to see in the water. The adventure begins.
We are loaded for bear. We got
You know,
bites.
there's so many different ways to fish for walleye. Dependability and efficiency.
Simple, fast, and easy.
The best rods on the planet. They like to eat when you're throwing the right thing.
You don't have all bluebird flat calm days.
Just a perfect eating size fish. See, that's what I'm talking about, these Daiwa drags.
We got walleye stuff, we got crappie stuff, we got pike stuff.